Hello, and welcome to the Intro to Statistics series brought to you by the Yale Center for Analytical Sciences Young Scholars Program. I'm Brad.
And I'm Megan, and we'll be taking you through the fundamentals of statistics. Each video will draw you further into the world of statistics.
Now, these videos provide lessons as well as examples for you to try on your own, so feel free to watch these videos at your own pace as we take a closer look at the different types of examples you may come across.
The key to understanding statistics begins with data. Now you might ask, what is data and where can you find it?
Well, what are the chances of hitting a home run? How about the chances of a pitcher in baseball hitting a bird?
What are the odds of winning the lottery? What are the chances of being hit by lightning? Twice.
The list goes on. Everywhere you look, statistics are all around us. Statistics can help us answer some of the most fundamental questions of everyday life.
The backbone of statistics is a collection of units, whether numbers, words, or unique identifiers, that we call data.
So let's talk about data and spend the rest of this video really understanding the way data is classified and categorized. Now, when most people think about data, they think just about numbers, but actually data doesn't have to be just numbers. It can be words or ideas or any sort of collection of units. But for the sake of categories, data is thought of one of two things, qualitative or quantitative.
Another word for qualitative data is categorical data. Categorical data categorizes any data that is not numeric in value. It can be broken down into two subcategories, nominal and ordinal data.
With nominal data, there is no specific order to the values. If we take a look at blood types, we see that there are many different types like A, AB, B, or O, but there is no numerical value to categorize these types and there is no specific order to them. Gender and marital status are two other examples that would be considered nominal data. As you can see, none of these sets of data have a specific order to them.
Ordinal data has an underlying order that is attached to random values. Some examples would include different stages of cancer, in which we have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. As cancer gets more severe, it will move up a stage in this order. Another example is heat intensity of peppers. There are different categories of heat, like hot, hotter, and hottest. As the heat intensity increases, we move through this order from hot all the way to hottest. Therefore, there is an underlying order to this data.
Comparatively, another name for quantitative data is numerical data. Quantitative data is any data that can be measured or quantified numerically. This type of data can be broken up into two subcategories as well, discrete and continuous data.
Discrete data can only take certain numerical values. For example, number of children. We can only have whole numbers, like 2 children or 4 children. We cannot have half a child or 2/3 of a child. Therefore, this would be discrete. Heartbeats, which can only have whole numbers, and shoe sizes, which can only come in whole or half sizes, are also examples of discrete data.
However, when we take a look at continuous data, the observations are on a continuum and are not restricted to specific values. For example, height, in which someone could be 5 foot 1 inch or 6 foot and 3 3/8 inches. There is a continuum of heights that a person could be. Another example could be weight, once again, in which the data is not restricted just to integers or other specific values.
The trick is making sense of the data that's all around us. And basically, that's what statistics is meant to do, to make sense of this data. All statistical problems involve either the collection, description, and analysis of data, or thinking about the collection, description, and analysis of data.
Let's look at a few examples to review these types of data. Pause the video and try to match the following examples with the type of data that correspond. When you're ready, press play and check your answers.
The first example of heat intensity of sauces at Buffalo Wild Wings is an example of ordinal data. The heat intensity goes from mild to hottest. This has an underlying order to the data, which is the definition of ordinal data. This is more broadly defined under the category of qualitative data.
The second example of time it takes to run a marathon is continuous data. There is a continuum of times that a person could complete the marathon, and whether it is 4 hours or 4 hours and 32.5 minutes. This can be more broadly defined as quantitative data.
The third example of hair color is an example of nominal data. There is no order to this data, and there is not numerical values. This also falls under the category of qualitative data.
The last example of the number of people on an airplane is an example of discrete data. This data can only contain whole numbers. This is also classified under quantitative data.
These are the 4 types of data that you will come across. As we explore mean, median, and mode in the next video, we will further explore these types of data.